phone, sorry. No, I was like, sorry, let me turn this around. Oh, wait. Oh, accept. Oh, I already accept. Oh, I'm tripping. Okay, so let me turn this around. I like hot mess right now. But, okay, so yesterday, Fancy was on your live, and I watched it, later on, and she said something.
The woman you were talking about, the one that...
Crazily, yeah. Fancy. And actually, she said something that Becca Scoops also says. And so this is just going to show you the narrative that they push and how they lie. Okay, so you know how she said that it was it was a fraud, basically. Like there was his election year. And remember, it was election year, and he didn't want to. He was losing in the polls, and people said there was this whole thing about him not prosecuting people that have to harm children and stuff like that. Well, guess what? Dan Patterson was the first. He became the district attorney. They call it the prosecuting attorney in 2010. Okay, he has not had an opponent to run against him since 2010. Okay, so he was not losing in polls. That's for one. Hold on, let me turn this off now. Okay, that's for one. For two, he actually won the prosecuting attorney of the year in Missouri in 2015, and he actually has multiple charities for children, and he has prosecuted so many. Like he's known for prosecuting rapists, to child rapists, child predators. So that whole thing she told you is actually all a lie. And that's what I mean. Like these people have been screaming, and I don't know why I never looked into this before. There we go. Why does it look like that? I never looked into this before, and I was like, you know what? Let me look into this, because I was like, I'm pretty sure this is probably not true, like most of the stuff they say. And sure enough, when I looked it up, they were like, no, nobody ran against him. So how was he losing in the polls? That's a lie. She perpetuated it. Yeah. So that's what she does.
I'll ask you what I asked Sheena, because I'm really curious. These videos have just come out fairly recently, which if there was a trial, it would have been entered into evidence and been discussed, the videos.
Maybe. I don't know, because they weren't in Nick's trial.
They weren't?
No. Only one video was brought into Nick's trial, and it's the one of Gypsy with the red and blonde. This is why. I'm gonna tell you why it wasn't. Okay.
Why were there not videos in the trial?
It's so simple. I'm gonna tell you why. Because they don't need to, her role playing is irrelevant when it comes to the crime. She asked him to unalive her mom, and he excited.
That's something that she acknowledges, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And another thing though, when people say he kept on saying no, let's do this. No, Nick actually was not. There's an interview I could find it on my computer, but it would take me forever. There's an interview where he said from the beginning, from jump, the first time Gypsy asked me, I told her it couldn't be me. It would have to be my dark side, Victor, that had never gotten an opportunity to do this. Meaning that he was taking the opportunity. Also, you know how we were talking about role play and everybody's like, oh, all these videos are so bad. The reason Nick's, which I finally have it edited, I'm going to post it probably tonight or tomorrow. The reason Nick's is so important and why that should have been brought into trial, but they didn't need it because they had all the evidence. They don't need that if they have enough evidence to prosecute him, But Nick's fantasy involved a vampire that graped and that unalived. Dee Dee's murder was built on a fantasy. He was Victor. Victor did it, remember, which was a vampire. And he wanted to grape her, but he didn't. He graped Gypsy and he unalived her. So his fantasy became real.
He graped Gypsy?
Well, it's okay, so he wanted to grape her mother.
Not for real. It was part of a fantasy.
Well, no, in the trial she even says it was consensual until she was begging him to stop, and he never did stop though. At that point, it does become grape. People don't want to acknowledge that, which is really sad. But, no, so that's what I mean. But what I'm saying is the whole crime was built off of his fantasy. A lot of people think that Gypsy taught him this, but yet he used Victor with a previous partner. Victor is a vampire. And according to him, Victor likes to unalive and grape. And he wanted to grape her mom, but she told him, no, you can do it to me instead. So, also, all the things leading up to the crime, he asked her questions like, is your mom a light sleeper? And she said, is your mom a light sleeper or a heavy sleeper? And he said light. She said a light sleeper. And he says, oh, I'm getting excited now. Like, the anticipation from him that's so clear through the text messages, he's excited to do this. Not her.
I was going to say, because I haven't seen that from him in any of the videos that I watched.
Well, yeah, because they're not showing it. I'm telling you, these people have been running a narrative for so long. I mean, look, they lied about a whole election fraud. I mean, not election fraud, election. It was because of election that he didn't even have an opponent in.
Hold on, let me thank some people quickly.
Yeah,
thank you so much to Farah, the Irish Arab. Appreciate you so much. Thank you, The Real Bethany. Thank you, Called to Serve. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, Katie. Thank you, Mrs. Fancy Pants. Thank you, Lori Lee. Thank you, Hairspray. Thank you, Missy Cat. Thank you, Garden ASMR Girl. Let me quickly follow everybody that I said I would. I follow anybody that sends 1,000 or more.
Drippy Toe Socks is not a mean person, y'all.
Okay, I think I got everybody. Okay, so my question is what I was getting at. So the videos might or might not have been into trial.
Right.
But evidence either that proves or disproves abuse that Gypsy suffered would have been entered into trial. So,
and that doesn't prove that she wasn't abused. If anything,
my question is, what evidence is there evidence that Gypsy was abused by her mother?
So, okay, so let's just start with the obvious, the things that they didn't even need like anything documented. Okay, so she was in a wheelchair and she didn't need to be in a wheelchair. She had a feeding tube and it was removed when she went to prison. She had a feeding tube and she didn't need it.
I'm so dumb. Yes. She had a feeding tube?
Yes, you know in the video where she's dancing, that black thing, she's covering up her feeding tube. That's the reason she's wearing that, which is why it's really sad because people don't give a shit. But yeah, she had a feeding tube that she did not need, obviously. People say she needed it because of microdeletion. Then why didn't she need it the second she went into prison? You think God blessed her? You killed your mother. I'm blessing you with a healthy life. Okay. Let's see. Gypsy drank from a bottle. She wore diapers. What mother puts their child that's 20-something years old in diapers? Okay. Yeah. And there's evidence of this. There's diapers. There was a diaper delivery guy that went there. Let's see. You can tell that she used the wheelchair in the house because there's wheelchair markings all over the house. The records, the medical records, there was a doctor who in 2007 said that there's a strong possibility of Munchausen by proxy. And the reason he said this was because, for one, there was no Tegretol in her system. If you have seizures, you need to take your medicine. And she didn't have any. She was still claiming that she had muscular dystrophy.
I'm curious about the doctors. What doctor said this?
This is Flasserstein.
And where did the doctor say this? In
the medical records, I can pull it up. It says strong possibility of Munchausen by proxy, and then right behind it, it says with maybe some unknown etiology to and a lot of people take that and they're like, oh, or it means that she could be sick. No, what that means is Munchausen by proxy. It is the fabrication, exaggeration, or inducing. So you can have an underlying issue that someone uses and exaggerates, which is exactly what Gypsy's mother did with the microdeletion. You know, I was thinking about this today. Here's the thing with the microdeletion. So imagine like she has microdeletion, like they said, she does. Okay, so Gypsy didn't need a wheelchair though. The microdeletion, all she needed to have the eye surgery. Okay, so that was true. That doesn't mean she's sick. Like a lazy eye doesn't make you walk around with like diarrhea coming out of your ass, you know?
I'm so shocked and confused at how the whole feeding tube thing happened. Why did that happen?
Well, people don't want to believe anything, but so Gypsy's mother said that she had problems eating. But here's the thing, Gypsy's mother got into a wreck and Gypsy's had to stay with her grandparents and they said she ate fine. So her mother was basically like not feeding her enough food and she got so small. You should see the pictures from back then. And on top of that, Gypsy's never got a swallow study test until 7 years after the feeding tube was placed. You almost always get you need to get one before you get a feeding tube. You should. I talked to someone on my live one time. Her daughter has a feeding tube, which she has a lot of the things that Dee Dee made Gypsy have, of course. Oh, look, I got flagged for misinformation, which is not. So she actually was able to help her. She talked to her and all the questions she wishes she could ask her daughter. Gypsy was able to help her with that because she knows what it's like. And So yeah, the fact that a swallow study test wasn't done until 7 years later, when that should have been the first thing, since she said she was having problems eating. But Gypsy always, there's pictures of her, I mean, eating stuff. Like, even though her mom said this.
So
yeah, I mean, pretty evident.
You're not Gypsy, so it's like.
No, I know I'm not Gypsy. I'm basing it off of.
No. What I'm saying is, like, what makes my thought is, why doesn't Gypsy release, people have been releasing these videos. Why doesn't she release what evidence she has?
We have been doing that they twist everything. Look at this. The thing with that she could walk since she was 6 years old. Okay. Okay. Imagine your child. You have a child, I think, right? No?
Yeah,
yes, no. It doesn't matter. Okay. Could you ever imagine your child telling you, or can you ever imagine your child being scared to tell you that they can walk because they think that you would love them more if they couldn't walk? Like, think about that. Gypsy's mother put her in a wheelchair when she was really young. And she just knows the things that her mom's told her. That story that's in that video, there's a record. I showed it the other day where a woman tells whoever she told this to, that Dee Dee told her that same exact story. And it's not like she knew that Gypsy said that, and her mom told different stories of why she was paralyzed. So this is what Dee Dee told Gypsy. So over the years, so you got to think, she's a child and she's like, you have to be in a wheelchair. And she's just sitting in there for, whatever. And she's just, and as time goes on, she's like, okay, like I can walk, but it seems like being in here, it makes my mom like, whenever I try to get out, she gets mad at me. Whenever I get caught out of it, she yells at me or gets mad at me. Like, this has happened. Family members have seen this. So in her mind, as she's getting older, she's like, you figure 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She's like, okay, this is just what is going to get my mom to love me. So when people hear that, I don't know what makes them think anything other than that. Your child should never come to you and say, not be able to come to you and tell you they can walk because they're afraid you won't love them. They'll love you more. It's common sense to me.
Let me thank some people. Hold on. Thank you so much to Farah, the Crystal Pistol, Sarah, Vanity Darkness, Queenie Kong, Christy, Bethany K. Butler, and let me quickly follow everybody that sent 1,000 or more. I follow Hairspray. I just followed you. Thank you so much. Naughty.
To be mean, but now she's nice.
You know her?
Yeah, I know Naughty Wendy.
Salty Carolina. I just followed you. Okay.
Would your child ever? Do you think your child would ever fear? Do you think your child would ever think that you would love them more if they couldn't walk? That's what a parent would. Think about it. Parents that have children in wheelchairs, they would love to wake up one day and have their child walk. They would love that for them. So the fact that Gypsy was afraid to tell her mom that she can walk, like, she's confused. It ain't that she lied to her mom. Her mom told her she needs to be in a wheelchair. She doesn't understand what her mom's doing as she's growing up. She doesn't, at 8, 9, 10 years old. So, until how she ran away, that's how her mom found out.
So,
I always knew.
Allegedly.
That should be right there. Should be simple.
Could be wrong, but allegedly, though, Gypsy there was an incident where she shot her mother in the face with a pellet gun?
In her face. It did not hit her face. Gypsy shot 10 times, it hit her 1 time. Okay, again, why do you think somebody would do that? Probably to get to get away from somebody. She tried to get away from her mom. She didn't want to unalive her. She wanted to hit her so she can get away from her. Or maybe she didn't want to unalive her. She said that it was to, like, get away from her. That, to me, that makes sense. Like, when somebody would either do that maliciously or to get away, why would she?
Why did she? I just still don't understand why she stayed after that. Like, if things are so dysfunctional with your mother that you're shooting her with even a pellet gun or whatever.
Okay. I'm gonna give you an example that I always give. Okay, imagine there's a wife who gets beat every single day, but she has a job. So in the morning, she wakes up, she puts on makeup, she covers it up, she passes up her mom's house, her sister's house, her cousin's house, a police station, and then she goes to work, and then she plays all happy, and then she goes right back to her abuser. The most dangerous part of leaving abuse is leaving. You know, that's the most dangerous part, and it's the most scary part. And fear is like a muzzle. You got to think, okay, so her family failed her. I mean, she had aunts, she had cousins, she had people that seen her walk that didn't do anything. She had doctors. I mean, you figure she's like, none of these doctors are noticing this. She had DFS come to her house, and by the way, under suspicion of Munchausen by proxy. But yet, Christy and Mike made this up. There was multiple records showing that people had suspected that. Okay, let's see. The people that she told failed her.
Are there two different Christies in the picture?
No.
Who's Christy? Christy's her stepmother?
Yes, that's who they say came up with. Oh, by the way, Munchausen by proxy is not a defense for everyone. Like that's evidence. That's not defense. The defense would have been like battered child syndrome or duress. I mean, there's many different things, but people keep saying like that was the defense. They try. No, that would have been a piece of evidence. A piece. There's emotional abuse, physical abuse, isolation, parent alienation. There's so many different forms of abuse. They only focus on Munchausen by proxy for whatever reason.
And Christy's somebody that came
Her
up.
Stepmom.
What?
Christy's the stepmom.
Yes, somebody. Does Gypsy get along with the stepmom?
Yes.
Still.
Yes. Look, why? I'm sure people, okay, look, a lot of people think that Christy's out to get Gypsy because Christy is so trusting and she has become friends with people that probably she shouldn't have trusted. And here's the thing. I try to tell people this way. Christy wants to humanize her family. So she talks to people that, you know, are not the nicest people that she tries to she wants them to see her as a human.
Somebody said though that Christy purposefully leaked pictures of Gypsy's baby.
No. Actually, what happened was case studies. Okay, and this was a plan. He never denied this. He like manipulated Christy, and they like bonded over not liking Ryan, so that way he can like he became friends with her, but fake friends. He did it with a burner phone and everything. It's this whole big old thing, and he let her speak to his child. Okay, so she felt this connection. So she showed pictures to him of Aurora, and he passed them around, not Christy. But they say, whoa, if Christy would have never gave it to him, absolutely, Christy was wrong for that. Absolutely, Christy was dead ass wrong for that. But Case, that's her grandchild. This is a grown ass stranger man on the internet. Why are you passing around baby pictures? You're the problem more than Christy, in my opinion. She trusted him. He let her speak to his child.
And all right, well, this one's almost.
But Christy was wrong, though, so let's make that clear. She was wrong too. They were both wrong.
But she still has a good relationship with her.
Yes.
Does Christy and her father? Do they live near Gypsy?
I mean, it's probably about the same, like about an hour or so.
Okay.
Not too far.
Let me thank some people. Hold on.
Go ahead.
Thank you to Farah, you legend. Pink Sands, appreciate you so much. KT, Crystal Pistol, Katie, the Dark Harley Quinn, Queenie, Sarah, Taterbug, and Mel. You all are so kind.
Thank you, everyone.
Let me follow everybody I said I would. I follow anybody that sends 1,000 or more in support. Okay, KT, I just folled you.
Next life, Katie.
Okay.
Ivy, and I told y'all the rest already.
So,
Virgil, thank you. Y'all are so sweet.
What is this about?
What?
This may not be true. What is this about? I wrote it in my notes. Bananas barbecue sauce.
Oh, you know what that's about? Okay, I'm gonna tell you because they'll never be able to get to see that video. So that is Nick made her do a humiliation test, and actually in that one, the transcripts that came out last year, the police transcribed it, and she said she's crying and visibly upset and begging him to let her like pass this test. Yeah. I wish they could see that one so they can actually see. I don't know how they watch those videos. Y'all don't see the parts in the videos where she's like, you know, before I met you, I thought like I would never, you know, no one ever saw me. I was just invisible and like I never fit in any place in the world. Like, because she was stuck in a wheelchair at home. Like, I don't see how they don't. It's Nick's videos that are like a crazy creepy. Like, you better obey me, or, you know.
So you've met Gypsy a bunch of times. Have you met Ken as well?
Yeah, of course. I love Ken. He's a good guy.
why do you think people keep bringing up this allegation that he's gay or bi? Is there any truth
why
to
do
that?
people keep saying that I'm a trans woman? Because they're hateful, because they think it's some kind of insult. I think it's more insulting to that community that they use it as some insult, to be honest, because like, if he was gay, who the fuck cares, right? Like, and whose business is it? Whose business would it be other than his to put it out there if he was? Right? So, I think that I wish that community would wake up and realize that these people are actually being disgusting towards them because they're doing it as a way to mock. And I think they're hateful. I think that hate people.
But allegedly, it's more than just smack talk. I mean, it might not be true, but apparently he had a Grindr account.
No, that wasn't true though. That was a lie. That guy also said there was supposed to be the series that comes out and that we was waiting for the trailer forever. Where's the trailer, Cowboy Bear? We still waiting for it. It's never coming.
And then why did some people tell me, I mean, I don't know the backstory, but that people allege that Gypsy is or has done or said racist things?
Like what?
I don't know.
I would love to know the racist. I mean, Becca Scoops, on the other hand, she has done and said very racist things and homophobic things. But I mean, she said same sex. I mean, marriage is the next Armageddon. And she said that, she said a lot of things, just put it that way. Yeah, y'all don't want to bring that up, but y'all want to lie about Gypsy being racist. Like, racist how?
There's some wait, hold on, I wrote the guy's name.
Y'all don't want me to bring that up, but y'all keep lying.
This Dan guy, Dan Glidewell, that's somebody that she met at a convention?
Yes. Oh, Savannah, I'm lying. Go look at my YouTube video on Becca Scoops. I got proof. Anyways, what?
Dan Glidewell. That's somebody that she met at a convention. Did she have a sexual relationship with him?
She had, sexual, like, over the internet. Like, she only met him, like, the time she met him at the convention, and then when she ran away. And he had gotten into a bar fight that night and got a spinal injury, so they weren't bumping uglies, for one. She pecked him. She gave him a kiss on the lips, like a little peck. And they both have said that. He said that their relationship was strictly online. And he never said that he gave her a taste. He got a taste. He already knew about it, but talking to her, he got a taste of it. Like, cause they,
so that's what I need clarity. So role play was something that Gypsy initiated?
With who?
With Dan.
Okay, think about this. So Dan's a 30-year-old something guy that's attracted to a girl in a wheelchair that looks like she's 12. What do you think? I mean, let's be honest. I mean, no. I mean, I think that they did it together. You know the type of role playing they did? Like freaking Superman and Lois Lane. Like, it wasn't like no vampire shit. And Demona and graping and shit like that.
So when Gypsy was with Ryan, did you meet him as well?
No, actually, I didn't meet Ryan. Ryan doesn't like me either. But no, when Gypsy was with Ryan, to me, she lived a sad life. She had to be home all the time. He was very controlling. He wouldn't even let her go to the apartment gym, like, without him. He wouldn't let her go swimming because it was cold. Like, he's her dad. I think Gypsy could do whatever the hell she wants, right? She's a grown ass woman. If she wants to go swimming in the cold water, so what? I think one thing I loved about Ken the first time I met him is that, they weren't living together yet. And, I don't know, he just gave so much freedom to Gypsy. Like, he wants her to go off with friends. He wants her to experience things that she never got to experience. Whereas Ryan was very like, you're all mine. Like, how dare you go to your family's house without me? You're mine. Like, I've been waiting for you for.
But he wasn't physically abusive.
No, he has a bad temper. I think both of them can have a bad temper, but that I know of, he's never gotten a physical with Gypsy.
Okay, hold on. Let me thank some people quickly. Thank you so much to Farah, Kai Sue, Monica, KT, Crystal, The Real Bethany, Queenie, Hello Starlight, Mel, and Hairspray. All right, we'll do one more and then we'll talk some other time, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
All right.
I just definitely wanted to come up and tell you that about that, because I mean, she was pretty positive about, was pretty confident about that election business. That's because she's a liar. Just like for 4 books, she doesn't even have 4 books. Okay. And in her last book, you know what she did? She wrote herself a letter from Dee. How weird is that? Fancy wrote herself a letter from Dee from the grave.
And did Gypsy,
and she was kidnapped. Fancy was kidnapped.
I'm
sorry that.
I am fairly new to the lore, as they might say.
Yeah.
The feeding tube thing is pretty wild to me. Are there any other instances that are like crazy like that? That's like, if you just accept this to be true, then it's most likely it's true that she was abused. Like, is there anything else in addition to the feeding tube?
Okay, this. Okay.
Like what's the biggest bombshell? Like the biggest craziness?
To me, it's this. It's really simple. Oh, you know what she said in the video the other day? Her mom told her, you can, she has a 21 rule for dating, but then her mom said, well, no, it's not about being 21. You could be 21 or maybe 50. It depends on when you're mature. Like, her mom got to decide when she's mature enough. That's weird. Like, she's a grown ass woman. But these are the things. This is what I always tell everybody. No mother, for anything, unless you have either a mental illness or you're a monster, would put their child in a wheelchair, shave their child's head when she doesn't have cancer.
So when she was at home,
a baby bottle and a diaper. Sorry, that alone is what?
When she was at home with her mother privately, not out in public, she would use the wheelchair at home.
Yes, remember she lied to her mom. You see, they can't go with both things. They can't decide that she was okay. Let me get in serious mode, okay? So that's, I want to point out these things because it's important, okay? So they say that Gypsy never had to be in the wheelchair all the time, but they also say that she lied to her mom about being able to walk. So which one is it? You can't walk and lie. So was she walking around going up to her mom, I can't walk? Like, so I believe that Gypsy, those videos were taken when her mom was outside of the house, like running an errand. That's why if you look at the timestamps of them, they're like 1 o'clock in the day, 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock. They're not like overnight. And then as far as the phone, she would tuck it by the bed and she always slept in her mom's bed. That's another thing. She had to sleep in her mom's bed every night. She never slept in her own room. She slept in her mom's bed.
With her mother?
With her mother.
Even
when she got in trouble, her mom actually attached her to her.
Even in her 20s?
Even until the last day she was there, she slept with her mother in the bed.
I mean, there's no proof of that, but...
The proof of that would be everything that's around. Like, Gypsy's room looks like it's just like her bed's full of toys. Like, she has, like, you know how you have 2 nightstands? Like, you would, like, Dee stuff's over there. You have Gypsy stuff over here. You got her CPAP machine. She doesn't have asthma, like Fancy said, still to this day. And she also, you know what she's talking about when she said, like, it's, numb legs? When she was pregnant, she made one video about her pregnancy and she talked about, she's talking about her symptoms. She's like, right now my legs have been getting a little tired. So now everybody thinks her legs are still bad, like her mom said, because she was pregnant and said her legs. Yeah. So no, I mean, you can tell by what's in the room that she sleeps in there.
So here's my last question.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess this is something for you and her to reflect on. Do either of you or both of you think that the interest that this community of people that are obsessively watching, that interest might wane, it might diminish a bit if you all don't feed it?
Oh, we didn't. Gypsy left the internet for 3 months. Until the other day, never posted a video since August. Okay? I go live and do, like, recently I've been talking about her again, but I had gone live for months. And I mean, she'd be mentioned here and there because, I mean, she is my friend. She comes in and people bring her up. But let me tell you, people come in there and mention her every single day, though. People make videos about it still every single day. People still harass us every single day. I think that it'll die down one day. I mean, who knows? Me and Gypsy talked about this like before. We're like, what if 40 years from now, these people are like going crazy and we're just like kicking it back, just having a good life and like not paying them any attention. And I even made AI images of them old doing it and it was really funny. But, I imagine that this will, look up, Perez, this is the last and final thing. These videos, there's nothing else after this. They tried everything they trying to put her back in jail. You didn't know that?
For what?
For her crime. Because Dee Dee didn't get justice, even though someone's serving a life sentence. Oh, by the way, Nick did get offered 2 plea deals.
She can't be back in jail because there's double jeopardy.
I know. But did you hear me? Because that's important. Nick was offered 2 plea deals.
He had a public defender.
No, I'm just saying because people act like he wasn't, but he was. I'm just saying.
Hold on, let me thank some people. Thank you so much to Taterbug, The Real Bethany, Sarah, Queenie, Darth, Hairspray, Savannah, Danielle, and Nancy. Appreciate y'all so much. Well, I appreciate you getting, like I said, I like to hear both sides.
Yeah. And make them show you proof. I mean, look, what somebody said before I go, also, no, I don't think it'll die anytime soon. They call every person who's ever been on Lifetime show, like the tarot, even down to the tarot card reader, they harassed them. Some man got fired from his job because of them. I mean, these people harass the fuck out of people. They call every single person, the psychiatrist, their couples counselor, they were harassing her business. Like, it's that crazy. But anyways, so yeah, but I'm telling you, I'm posting those Nick videos tonight. So
tag me or DM me.
Yeah, I will. But have a good night though.
All right. Bye, good to see you. Bye.
Thank you.
It's so weird because I'm like trying to remain present and focused, and my stomach is just like, there's a situation happening here. Okay. We can do 1 or 2 so you can debrief me and